Call to order City of Forest Park Council Meeting number 1367, Tuesday, January 19, 2021. Let's have the pledge, please. And Rosalind, will you do us the honor, and the rest of us will kind of silently follow along.
Yes, thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, Sally, if you would call the roll, please.
Brown.
Here.
Clark. Hervey.
Here.
Holt.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Sylvester.
Here.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Murphy?
I would move to excuse Councilwoman Clark.
Second.
Second.
Moving second that we excuse Councilwoman Clark. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion to excuse, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
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 Opposed? Councilwoman Clark is excused. I did, for everybody's benefit, I did speak with her today. She is doing better. She is, as almost everybody who gets the virus, she feels rather weak and kind of washed out. And even though she's feeling better, she has, I think her phrase is, as you well know, Don, she has no energy. So, but she is doing, she says, hopefully she'll be with us at our next meeting. Move on to the next order of business, the minutes. You should have all gotten a copy of the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Seeing here not, the minutes will stand approved as presented. Item 3, presentation. The first of those is January business of the month. This January business of the month is the United Dairy Farmers at Kemper Meadow in Winton, and Mr. Paul Brim will make sure that they receive their certificate and plaque. The next item on their presentation is holiday decorations. Councilwoman Hope, do you have anything on that?
Yeah, I have the list
Okay.
that I can read. Okay.
We'll just read the names on the list, please.
Okay, the 2020 Holiday Decoration Awards were Holiday Spirit Award, Tracy Adams, Kenneth and Madia Monroe, Mary H. Sims. Spirit of Illumination, Dorothy and Mimi Mickle, Joanne Sawyer, Daryl Sawyer Sr., Antonio Sawyer, and Daryl Sawyer Jr. Teresa Davis, Jim and Jessica Fogel. Creative Spirit, John and Melissa Teller, Betty Dunn and Sons, Osvaldo Reyes. Animated Spirit, Anna Johnson, Latoya Bunton and Joshua Tennyson, David and Debbie Dixon. Elegant Spirit, Jennifer and Mike Vanoy. And that is the list.
And we would like to thank those people and all the others who took the time to put up decorations for the holiday season. Next item on the agenda is communication from the public. This is the time for citizens to comment on matters before council, to ask questions and concerns to them. Mr. Jones, did you have anyone who was requesting to speak before the council?
No, we had no one who wanted to speak before council or bring up any issues.
Thank you, sir. We will move on then to the next item, which is reports of standing committees, Community Development Committee, Councilwoman Dr. Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do not have a report at this time, but I just want to acknowledge our residents today at 5:30. Amber lights shine bright to remember and honor those we lost, our family members, our residents. people in our community, in all communities across our great nation. So just, I'm very prideful to see the lights out in the community in honoring those who are no longer with us due to COVID.
Okay, Councilwoman Moore, I don't have any items on the agenda for you for the work session. Did you have anything to add?
No, I do not.
Next report would be Human Resources Committee, Councilwoman Holt.
I do not have a Human Resource Committee report. However, I would like to give Don a big shout out to say thank you for your podcast message last week, where you honored Dr. King, asking people to research his message and life, and that today more than ever his message rings true.
That is
And
true.
yes, his words are relevant today as they were over 50 years ago. And it's really near and dear to my heart because I am a survivor of Bloody Sunday. So
Wow.
to you, thank you.
Thank you. And that's a true statement as it ever was. It is never more important than the things that we're going through today for people to go back and listen to the message.
And I also have a message for John. John, I just want you to know when that tide rolled in last week, it came in like a tsunami. And don't underestimate the strength of the tide. Roll tides. I'm a Bama girl.
You won.
Oh,
I
equal
can
time,
see.
John, equal time.
Unlike some people in Washington, D.C., I conceded.
I thought we needed a little humor.
Councilwoman Holt, I have no items on the agenda for you. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Next report, Law Committee, Mr. Brown.
I do not have any report to make at this time, nor do I have any items to add to the agenda. I do want to say that just to piggyback off of Councilwoman Moore's sentiments, since Hamilton County has reached purple now, I want to encourage everyone to continue to remain vigilant because I know it's a new year and we do want to get 2020 and all the events behind us, but the pandemic has followed us into this year. So we have to continue to wash our hands and wear our mask in public places. I guess now is the time as good as any to mention that I've actually just tested positive for COVID. So I'm no you can tell from my voice, but it is serious. It is not a game. It is not a hoax. And I know all things work together for my good. So I will say that experience in this lets me know, I've always taken it seriously, but lets me know even more so that we have to continue to take care of one another. That's all that I want to mention. I just want to encourage our residents to stay vigilant and to keep up hygiene practices. Right now, I've been quarantining for over a week now. It's nobody here, but made a commitment, so I did want to come on the call and state that.
Thank you, sir, and good luck to you, and we're all there with you.
Yes.
The next item, next report is Public Improvement and Facilities, Mr. Sylvester.
Mr. Mayor, I don't have a report at this time, but just would ditto on the comments from our fellow councilmen and councilwomen, and encourage our citizens and each of us to continue to do the right thing and keep hope alive. There will be a brighter day.
Thank you, sir. There's only one item on the agenda for you, and that has to do with the right-of-way fees. So do you have any others to add?
No, sir.
Next report is Public Safety. Councilwoman Clark is not in attendance. Then we will move on to Ways and Means. Councilwoman Irving.
Just a couple things. There was a really good economic development report in our departmental reports this week, but I am not going to go into that this time. I'll wait until 2 weeks from now to kind of give a review of what's been going on and what may be some things in the pipeline. Denise, I want to thank you for being on the front line during the civil rights era. I was not as engaged as you, but I certainly grew up during that time and certainly subscribed to those events going on. I do also want to piggyback on some of the things said about COVID. I have been, of course, watching television the last 2 months. And one thing that Dr. Fauci said is don't get complacent now that a vaccine is rolling out. You still need to wear masks, not just for yourself. You may be protected by the vaccine, but we don't know yet whether you can still be a carrier. And so it is important for your fellow men and your fellow women to wear the mask, to socially distance, and to wash your hands. So I would piggyback on that.
You, I have no items on the agenda for you. Do you have any to add?
No, sir.
Next report is, Government Relations. That's my committee. I have no reports. I'll answer any questions if there are any. And I have no items on the agenda for the work session for next month, for next meeting, sorry. Move to item number 6, the mayor's report. Just briefly to add to what some people have said. First and foremost, in 2 meetings today, one with the Hamilton County Health Department and another with the governor, and we have one tomorrow morning with the governor regarding the distribution of the vaccine. Obviously, it's not going nearly as smoothly as had been hoped. A lot due in great part to each state is allowed to set its own parameters of how it's going to do it. Some states are much farther ahead than we are. Part of that reason is because of the smaller population. They don't have very many cities that's dense, and their procedures are a little bit different. It is going to take some time. It's going to take a lot of time. And we have to just be patient and careful, especially to answer the one question. Yes, from all the information that is available, even, think about it in terms of the flu. Even if you get the vaccine, doesn't necessarily mean that you can't contract it and that you can't spread it. It just means that it would not necessarily be as serious. And as was said also, we cannot let our guards down. We have to be very careful. And to the young people out there, our school people, children, they get it. They get the vaccine. They may not. It may not impact them nearly as seriously as it would an older person, but they get it. They can carry it back home. They can carry it to other places. So we all have to be careful. As far as from the city standpoint, I can assure you, and I'm sure the city manager would echo, Forest Park is going to continue to do what we've done in the past. We're not going to put our employees at risk. We're not going to put our citizens at risk. We're going to stay closed building-wise until it's absolutely safe for us to reopen. And I don't think, from my view at this point, even though we've been physically closed, it has not worked a hardship on our citizens. The services are still there. The services are still being provided. Probably the only thing that we're not providing, and it's obvious, is that we are not using the senior center for recreational activities. But then I think almost everybody, if not everybody, understands that, and we're going to continue in that vein. I would like to announce, we didn't do it last meeting, but Councilwoman Clark has been selected to the board of directors for SORTA. Congratulations to her. And Don, I too would like to add my thanks to you for your message regarding the civil rights movement and Dr. King.
Thank you.
Those of us who were there we're old enough. It's kind of a bittersweet thing. You know, when we were back then in the good old days, as they say, if they were the good old days, it was different. We marched, we protested, but the one thing that I see that is so different is and this is not a criticism of what's going on today, but we stuck to Dr. King and the leader's messages of nonviolence. We had a plan. We didn't do anything that was not pre-planned. People didn't just come and get in line and march with us. You wanted to do it, you had to go the whole route, meaning you had to adhere to all of the rules under which we marched. You had to we made sure that if you didn't follow the rules, you couldn't be part of the group. And I think that was one of the things that impressed me so much about that that time period. I mean, we were marching every day. And in all of those marches, we followed all of the rules. There were people who did try to join with different ideas than what we had, but they were quickly made known that you can't do that here. If you want to do that, you got to go somewhere else and do it. We have a mission, and we stuck with that, and we accomplished our mission. And unfortunately, we're still fighting some of the same fights today. And with patience, we'll be just as successful as we were then, but it takes patience. And again, I just want to add my thanks to all of the things that not only Dr. King, but all of those who were there, all of those who took part, and all of those who gave some their last full measure to make sure that we're at least where we are today and able to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
That would conclude my report. I'd answer any questions if there are any. Seeing no one, the next item is item number 7, City Manager's Report. Mr. Jones.
I'll keep it pretty quick. It's hard to talk about those things that you guys have firsthand knowledge of. So I would say this, that from a vaccine standpoint, the city is participating. We're active participants. We're providing a place for the vaccine to be distributed in the city of Forest Park, so it's convenient to our folks. But the list is a Hamilton County wide list. So go out to the Hamilton County Public Health website. If you ever want to take this vaccine, even if you're 10 years old, 25, 30, 50, 60, 80, get out there and put your name on the list so you'll be first in line when it gets to be your turn. We're distributing the vaccine. Hamilton County Public Health is distributing the vaccine tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday at our senior center. And we've offered up our senior center as we want to do our part. We want to make sure that our citizens have an opportunity to have a convenient place to have the vaccine. Now, eventually, it's going to be at CVS and Kroger and places like that, but and your doctor's office. But we want to make sure that our citizens are there, and we want to make sure that we're participating. And that's our main thing. Finally, we are getting ready to hire up to 3 policemen. We will be announcing the notice is out. It will be on our website by the end of the week. So if you know someone who is a policeman or wants to be a policeman, please refer them to our website. We're looking to hire 3 over the next year, and we're probably going to go ahead and do it right away so we can have them in place. And we need 1 right now, but we're going to need at least 3 more by the end of the year. And we want to make sure that we're ready for that those retirees, and keep our police force strong and well-manned or womaned, and make sure that everyone has an opportunity to apply and be considered. So if you know someone, please refer them to our website. Other than that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Any questions for Mr. Jones? Seeing no one, we will move on to item number 8, other reports. First of those being our Law Director, Mr. Wykoff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a few items to report on. One of our officers was, excuse the landline going off here. One of our officers, Jeff Carnine, was in a SWAT organized, I'm sorry, a DART organized bust. The individual who got busted has sued a number of people in federal court. And on behalf of the officer, a motion for summary judgment has been filed. I reviewed those pleadings as well as the plaintiff's response. It looks very favorable. I'd be surprised if the lawsuit is not thrown out as a matter of law. I also had an opportunity to review an additional benefit offer that's going to be made under the Ohio Deferred Compensation. It's a Roth 457 option, which I read with approval. And also I had an opportunity to review the Supreme Court of Ohio's most recent tolling order as it applies to the criminal and traffic cases that we handle. And I discussed that in detail with Julie Sheets, our clerk of courts. That would be the end of my report unless anybody has any questions.
Any questions for a Law Director? Seeing no one, we will go to the next report. Clerk of Council, Mrs. Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to report that ordinance numbers 01-2021 and 02-2021 were posted as required. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Clerk of Council? Hearing none, we will go to item number 9, new business. We have a motion, Councilman Herbie.
You're on
muted.
mute.
You're on mute.
I'm sorry. I would move to receive the general fund summary report as provided to council.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we receive the general fund summary report. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there any further business to come before the body? Any further business? Mr. Jones, if you would, there was would you resend to council the email that went out regarding the availability of the vaccine at the senior center? I know that a couple of us have been asked about it, and for whatever, I guess we, for whatever reason, we didn't. I think it came out from probably the recreational director, but some of us didn't get that. So would you please make sure that comes out to council, so when people do ask us, we can point them in the right direction.
Yeah, I will track it down and have it to you guys this evening.
Thank you. Anything else for the good of the order? Mr. Brown, good luck to you, sir. And if there's anything we can do for you or help you do, let us know.
Thank you, body.
If there's no other business to come before the body, this meeting then is, Mr. Sylvester, did you have something?
Oh, no, I was
turning it off.
Thanks for the quick response, though, man.
Yeah, we're then adjourned. Thank you all and be safe. Be safe.
Thank you,
Good night.
Bye-bye.